In this video, I'm going to talk about a cool little cardboard box that just happens to take pictures. The Ansco Shur Shot. What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about a cool little box camera that I've been just having a blast with. These things were made, I believe, around 1935 through the early 40s, and so that makes this is like a 75-year-old cardboard box, and it's in pretty good shape, almost pristine condition. I've shot a bunch of rolls through it, and part of the fun I think with this is you get one aperture, you get one shutter speed, and that's it. Make it work, go out, have fun. And some people, that just might drive them crazy to not have the options and not have this lens and that lens and all these other widgets and doohickeys. But hey, give me this little box camera, a roll of 120 film, and man, I'm well, a couple rolls, and I'm set for the weekend. No joke, this thing it's cool. So basically, you get a box with an aperture of f/13, and the shutter speed on this is about 1/60th of a second. I'll do a quick overview of what's on the camera. Really, it's not very much, but I'll do an overview, and then I'll also go through a couple things that I found shooting. I've shot 4 or 5 rolls through it now, and I'll just go through a couple things that I've found that have kind of made my life easier. On the front side, we have our lens and our 2 viewing windows. That's it. So, like I said, very, very primitive. And your 2 viewing windows, these are going to be shot from your waist. You'll see on the side and the top how you have a little viewfinder. One is in portrait orientation, the other is in landscape. And some of these models, this one doesn't have it, but some of the models, I believe, these shoot 6x7. And there's a little adapter or some flaps or something that you can adjust on the inside that will give you a square image. Like I said, this model doesn't have it, so I don't know exactly how it works, but I've read other models do have that, so you can make that adjustment if you want it. So most of your controls are going to be on this side. You have your shutter lever right here. You just pull it down, and then that's it. 1/60th of a second, and you're good to go. And your advanced knob. And you basically, I'm not going to do it because this is loaded with film, but you have 2 spools in here. There's one down here and one over here, and then the film is going to basically follow this path. Back here, here's your film plane, and then it'll come back to this spool. So this would essentially be your take-up spool as you start. On your top side, you have that portrait viewfinder window. And I believe these are made out of polished steel. They're not actual mirrors. So the image that you see, it can be kind of challenging to get to get set up or lined up correctly. It's kind of a hit or miss thing. And the focus distance too, the minimum focus distance on this, I believe, is like 10 feet or around about 10 feet. So the back little notch here, this is what's going to hold your back door open. And this whole back flap, if you pull this back, this will open up. You have some hinges on the bottom side here, and this will open up, and then you have an insert that holds your lens and your film spools. It will slide out. I'll do another video on how to load film with this, like I said, because it's already loaded up now. So I'll do a separate video on how to load some film in this. And you have a little red window here, and I've run a couple different rolls through. I've not found a film that's lined up with this as far as the numbers. Everything's been over here or over here. So I've come up with another method to kind of guesstimate exactly what frame I'm at. And that's pretty much it as far as the rundown. It's a really super simple camera. A couple things I did want to mention though. Now, I talked about on the back side here, you have this little red window, which it really should show you what frame you're on and when you're advancing exactly where you need to stop. Now, I don't know whether Ansco had its own film or they used a particular type of film, but the film that I've used, 120, was like, I think it's tmax, some HP5, Tri-X, everything that I've used, has not lined up. I've got a couple little arrows that have come through, but the numbers were either on this side or that side of the window. So what I've done to kind of count is I've gone by how many turns I'm turning the knob. So 1.5 turns, full turns of this knob will get you a perfect frame advance like this. And I would always do one extra just to play it safe, because there's a couple times where that slips and it'll overlap. So just to play it safe, I always do 4, which would be, or 4 half turns, which, gives it 2 complete turns, and that'll give you a gap like that. You might lose one frame on the whole roll of 120, but I'm willing to sacrifice a frame, for the security that I'm not going to overlap my frames. All I do is I just count. When I start, I'll go like this, and I'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I've got a new fresh frame, ready to go. That's the one thing that cost me a couple frames on the first 2 rolls before I kind of got a system going. And also, you're only going to put one ISO in this at a time, be it whatever, 100, 400. What I was doing to kind of give myself a little bit of flexibility, because you have that 1/60th, that f13, and then whatever ISO you put. And you might not be shooting the whole roll for whatever conditions are going on. So what I had done is I would put 400 in it, and then I have 2 filters that I would take with me. The Hoya 25A, for contrast, it's a really cool filter. That'll give me 3 stops right there. So all I would do is put that in front. I'd hold it there. It doesn't obstruct my viewing windows, and I know it covers the lens, and then I get 3 stops. And if it gets really bright and I need an extra 3 stops, I would, carry an extra 3 stops. So there we go. I would have 6 stops. I would just screw them in and hold them in there. And what's kind of cool is it doesn't obstruct your view out of your viewfinders. You can see perfectly fine, and you can make those adjustments on your ISO. So I found that to be the best way. Now, if I'm going out and I'm going to shoot the whole roll of Ektar or whatever, I'll just throw 100 in it, and then I'll be good. And as far as the quality of the pictures, I'll put a couple pictures up here from some rolls I've shot, just to give you an idea of the images that this will put out. So, as you can see, some of those images, they're not bad, and it has like a really cool vintage look to it. So my final thoughts on this are, it's a keeper. I'm definitely going to keep this in my personal collection, and it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to be shooting. And when I do finish the roll here, I'll go ahead and I'll do another video on loading film on this. Whenever I get that done, I'll go ahead, I'll update, and I'll put that down below in the comments. So if you want that, that's there as well. So that about wraps it up, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, if you could do me a favor and please give it a thumbs up. And every couple days I come out with new stuff. Some are overviews like this. Others are how-to videos. All are film photography related. And so if that's your kind of thing, go ahead wherever the button is and hit that subscribe thingy. And then you'll get all the latest and the greatest content. So I guess until next time, we'll see you. Some people would hate that. It would just drive them crazy to not have the oh man, not have the options.